You know that feeling when you wake up in the middle of the night, glance at the clock, and it's always the same time, 3 a.m. The house is quiet, the world is still, and yet here you are, wide awake. Maybe you toss and turn for a while, hoping sleep will come back. Maybe you start worrying about why this keeps happening. And before you know it, the sun's coming up, and you're dragging through the day, feeling tired and frustrated. If this sounds familiar, you're not alone. So many of us over 60 find ourselves stuck in this cycle, wondering why our sleep isn't as restful as it used to be. The good news? There are real, simple reasons behind it, and even better, there are things you can do to fix it. You see, as we get older, our sleep patterns naturally change. Our bodies produce less of the hormones that help us stay asleep, and we become more sensitive to things like light, noise, and even what we eat or drink before bed. But that doesn't mean you have to just accept restless nights. Small adjustments can make a big difference. Today, we're going to talk about winding down the right way. Many of us are used to staying busy right up until bedtime, catching up on chores, scrolling through the news, or even lying in bed worrying about tomorrow. But our brains need time to shift into sleep mode. Think of it like slowing down a car before you park it. You wouldn't slam on the brakes at full speed, right? Sleep works the same way. So, what does a good wind-down routine look like? Start by setting aside at least 30 to 60 minutes before bed for quiet, relaxing activities. Maybe that's listening to soft music, doing some gentle stretching, or even a few minutes of deep breathing. Some people find that a warm bath or shower helps. Not only does it relax your muscles, but the drop in body temperature afterward actually signals to your brain that it's time to sleep. And here's something you might not expect. Keeping a worry journal can make a big difference. If your mind races at night, take 5 minutes before bed to write down any thoughts or to-dos that are on your mind. Getting them out on paper can help your brain let go so you're not processing them at 3 a.m. Now let's talk about the fourth fix, hydration. This one's a bit of a balancing act. You don't want to go to bed thirsty because dehydration can wake you up. But drinking too much water right before bed means you'll likely be up for a bathroom trip. The key is to spread out your fluids earlier in the day and taper off in the evening. Try to get most of your water in by dinner time, and if you need a sip before bed, keep it small. Also, pay attention to what you're drinking. Caffeine can stay in your system longer than you think. Even that afternoon cup of coffee could be affecting your sleep. And while a nightcap might make you feel sleepy at first, alcohol actually disrupts deep sleep later in the night, which is why you might wake up suddenly. If you enjoy a drink, try having it earlier in the evening with dinner instead of right before bed. These changes might seem small, but when you put them together, they create a much better environment for sleep. And the best part? You don't have to do everything at once. Even picking one or two of these fixes to start with can make a noticeable difference. But we're not done yet. there's one more key factor that could be the missing piece to your best night's sleep in years. Let's talk about it next. You've made it this far, and that tells me something important. You're serious about reclaiming your sleep. And that brings us to our sleep suffers. This doesn't mean you need to start running marathons or lifting heavy weights. In fact, gentle movement is often best. A daily walk, some light gardening, or even chair exercises can make a world of difference. The key is consistency. Just 20 to 30 minutes of movement most days helps regulate your body's natural sleep-wake cycle. And here's a bonus. Try to get that movement outside in natural sunlight, especially in the morning. Sunlight exposure early in the day helps set your internal clock, making it easier to fall asleep and stay asleep at night. Now let's put all these pieces together. Imagine this. You've dimmed the lights in your home as evening approaches. You finish dinner a few hours before bed, and you're nicely hydrated without needing nighttime bathroom trips. You spend some quiet time unwinding, maybe reading or listening to calming music. Your bedroom is comfortably cool and completely dark. And because you moved your body during the day and got some sunshine, your internal clock is perfectly tuned. Doesn't that sound like a recipe for great sleep? The beautiful thing about these fixes is that they work together. Even if you can't implement all 5 at once, each one you adopt will make a difference. Start with the one that seems easiest or most appealing to you. Maybe this week you'll try blackout curtains and limiting screen time before bed. Next week you might adjust your dinner timing. Small steps lead to big changes. Remember, waking up at 3 a.m. isn't some inevitable curse of aging. It's often just your body responding to your daily habits. And habits can be changed. You have more control over your sleep than you might realize. I'd love to hear how these tips work for you. Have you tried any of these fixes before? What changes have you noticed? Share your experiences in the comments below. Your story might help someone else struggling with the same issue. If you found this helpful, do me a favor, hit that like button and subscribe to Aging Gracefully 60 for more tips on living your best life after 60. Because you deserve to wake up feeling refreshed, energized, and ready to enjoy every day to its fullest. Here's to your best sleep tonight and many more to come.